Well, Christine Feehan's a personal friend of mine, and I thought it was a great opportunity to work with her, and I found that the character Dan, when it was presented to me, I looked into it and researched it a little bit, and I'm like, this is a really good character. It's a three-dimensional character. He's got a lot of struggles and internal and conflict, and I felt a little bit of a personal connection to him. And I've been somewhat of a musician, singing violin, saxophone all my life, and so that was kind of cool. Well, as we all know, the Dark series is about the Carpathians and searching for their life mate. Well, in any book, there needs to be some sort of conflict, and it's usually the obstacle, some sort of obstacle, preventing them from finding that life mate and being life mates. Well, in the Dark series, in the Dark Melody, it has a third party introduced, and it's not a bad person. It's actually someone that Dayan's character really has to struggle, because as we all know, the Carpathians love children, and so he has to choose whether to save the child or should he save his life mate, which in turn would save him. So it's a tough one. He's got a tough choice. She has a bad heart. Dayan uses his powers and realizes this, and so he wants to match his heartbeat to her heartbeat so she will feel better. The significance is when he does that and they start pairing and the two coincide, he then realizes there's the third heartbeat, which is the child. Well, Dayan in this story plays in the Dark Troubadours. This band, but the band that we actually use is not the Dark Troubadours, it's the Modalities. And that's because in this scene, Dayan is not playing with the band. He's kind of searched and found this local gig and very passionate about his music, so he picks up his guitar and starts jamming with them. And that's why it's a different band in the scene, in the trailer. But the Modalities themselves, we needed somebody with a little versatility, and we didn't want too hard rocky, we didn't want too soft, and they had a kind of a mix of this R&B, rock, and we knew that they were capable of doing a fast song and a slow song, so we chose them, and they have a great look. No, I'm not the only Carpathian in this one. In the book, there's somewhat of a reunion of some of the major players throughout the Dark series, and we thought that we should capitalize on that and bring back at least one of the characters. So we thought Gregory would be a great character to bring back. The set, working on the set is great. Circle of Seven is great because everybody is so positive and they're willing to help out. Every set you've ever worked on and any one you'll ever work on, problems will arise. But there's no need to get mad at the people and stuff. It just gets bad. So Circle of Seven really tries to find ways to solve the problems, which is great. Book trailers, well, in this particular trailer, I think it's great because there's a lot of romance, yet there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of tension. And in the trailer, there's a lot of special effects and stuff that make it really cool. And book trailers in general is needed because there has to be a visual medium, entertainment medium for books themselves. And this is the perfect way to do it. Yes, there actually are a few cameos. I'm not going to tell you who they are. They're kind of secrets. But did I mention that Christine Feehan is a really good friend of mine? Who dies? Let me tell you who dies. I can't do that. There would be no point in reading the book. But imagine this. Imagine having to choose between two things you really love, knowing that one of them is going to have to die.